This is the Produce Procedures installment of training minutes. I'm going to show you how to cut all the produce. The first thing I'm going to do is undress my onion, I guess. I don't know what else you'll say. Skin it. I'm going to cut both ends off. You'll notice in the wintertime onions have a much thicker skin. And then once I have that done, I just drop it into ice water. Let it sit there until I'm actually ready to cut it. We're going to move on to the other vegetables while that's soaking. What happens when you put an onion in ice water is it shocks it, and it actually helps it to not smell when you go to cut it. So that'll make us cry a lot less. What we're going to do is we're going to start with our tomato. Take your tomato, there's the top where it grows on the vine, and this is what I call the butt, for no other easy term. You put the vine part down, cut right down the center of the butt. Starting at the bottom of the tomato, or the bud section, you set your guide knife on number 5 by using your adjuster nut to loosen up the guide, and then lining it up with the blade on the number 5 and retightening the nut. That ensures that every slice of tomato is the same width. Starting, like I said, at the very end, you want to do your first cut, and that just cuts off that little seed part at the bottom. And then you want to continue slicing the tomato. Notice where my fingers are as far away from the blade as humanly possible. And then you stop either once you get too uncomfortable to continue, or once you start getting this large white part that is hard, and you don't want customers to bite into that, so you stop there. For the green pepper, you want to set it down, cut it directly in half. Using your red-handled knife, you want to trim the inside. You're actually able to get all the seeds that way, and even some little mini green peppers growing on the inside that we don't want to serve. All vegetables, before you even start to cut them, should be washed in the sink first. Vegetables, as you know, grow on the ground, and they can have dirt and nasty on them, so we want to make sure we wash them. Then once you've cut your green peppers in half, you want to rinse them off again so that there are no seeds when you are cutting them. You want to get rid of all the seeds. You're going to pat them dry so they're not dripping wet, so they're just, you know, a little damp. Then you take your knife, still set on 5, across it lengthwise, and cut it into strips. Okay, then you have your green pepper. You have these long strips, and what we want are slivers. So what you want to do is, at every knuckle of the pepper, you want to cut it, and that makes your strips. Now you can do more than one at a time. That way all of your strips are the same width, I guess you want to say. They're not extra thick hunks. Now we're going to get our onion out of the ice water bath and hope that it's been in there long enough. Pat it dry with paper towels so it's not dripping wet. Then just like the tomato and green pepper, you want to cut it right in half. right off the bat. Guide's knife still on 5. Just start slicing it into the half moon shapes. You never want to try to cut any of your vegetables while they're in the round state because they move around too much. And we certainly don't want anyone to get cut. Then you want to take a red handle knife. Depending on the width of your onion, you kind of have to eyeball it. Either cut it into 2, 3, or 4 to get the slivers. This one we're going to do 3. So you cut it here, and we're going to cut it again over here to get nice sized slivers out of it. The next thing I'm going to show you is leaf lettuce. It comes in these bags. You just want to rip the bag open and get the entire head of leaf lettuce. You lay it down and cut the end. Nobody wants this hard stuff, so we just don't bother giving it to them. Then you're going to take your lettuce, and since we don't have a sink, we're going to dip it in the ice water. But normally what you do is you would just put it in an ice bath like in your sink. Some of the stores have colanders to put it in. However you want to do it, as long as every single leaf of lettuce gets cleaned in there. You want to make sure, you can't just let it lay there because that's not going to do anything. You want to move it around because what you're doing here is washing the lettuce. Lettuce, just like the other vegetables, is grown at a real farm on the real ground, meaning that there's dirt, possibly other things in there that you don't want to serve to a customer or anyone else. Once you've washed it, you place it on your paper towels, and then we're going to pat it dry. Then I'm going to show you how to wrap it. Pat it dry. You never want to put anything in with the lettuce when you wrap it. No towels, no paper towels, no QF8s, nothing. It should be just lettuce. Anything else you put in there could possibly harbor bacteria. You just want to pat it as good as you can. If there's lettuce that's in there, you'll see whenever I wrap it that it definitely is going to find its way out. This takes a little bit of time to do, but it is so worth it. Our lettuce stays crisp and looks wonderful, and people do notice that. If you've ever gone to a restaurant and gotten a dinner salad with brown lettuce or a hoagie with brown lettuce, you'll know what I mean. We don't want to be that place. Then you're going to take a piece of saran wrap, take your pre-cleaned leaves of lettuce, and lay it right in there. You're going to wrap it, and you're going to wrap it as tight as you can. When you push down on this, you'll actually hear it crunch. That's the crispiness of the lettuce, and you're actually breaking the stem. That's wonderful. That's fine. Exactly what you should be doing. If you have too much water, you'll actually see it start to drip out the ends. That's just it finding its natural path out. That's fine. You want to wrap it in that package. You coat it and place it in the cooler or in your hoagie table. When you open this lettuce, it's going to grow right back to the size that it was before we put it in here and get nice and big again. So there's no reason to fear wrapping it tightly. You want to wrap it as tightly as you can. And that's it for produce.
Got a minute, make it minute me. too, quick and fast, in a hurry.